And Chair, we're ready. Thanks for your patience.
All right, welcome to the Wildwood Celebration Commission meeting. This is Thursday, February 6th at 6 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Let's please call the roll.
Commissioner Slaughter, Commissioner Schultz, Commissioner Jailing.
Here.
Commissioner Silverman.
Here.
Commissioner Jones. Commissioner Lind.
Here.
Commissioner Siebert.
Here.
Council Liaison Edens.
Here.
And myself.
And we have a quorum. All right, I would love to have a motion on the floor to approve the January 8th minutes.
I approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Lind, seconded by Commissioner Silverman. Do we have any correction to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Do we have any members of the public here to comment online?
Madam Chair, we have no attendees and everybody that's here is at the table. So thank you though.
Well, no news is sometimes good news, so let's go ahead and move on.
Hands up. I would like to introduce
Yes.
Officer Daniel Fisher. He's been with the police department 10 years. That me and him be together on these meetings. To the end of,
Time.
to the event.
Excellent. Well, we're really glad to have you. Do you have any questions for us before we begin?
Nope.
Well, thank you. Hopefully we don't scare you off tonight, but
You guys vest on. I'm
hopefully you're in line.
He's scared of us, I think.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to the first item on the agenda, discussion of the 2025 Celebrate Wildwood event, 30th anniversary of the city for aging like fine wine. Item A, revenue sources and sponsorships.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair and members of the commission, thanks for coming tonight. We certainly appreciate it. And to our esteemed police officers, thank you as well. As we have gone through the last couple of meetings of the commission, we've talked a lot about just our revenue generation, sponsorships, and other items about the event. The commission's made several important decisions as we've gone through those series of meetings, particularly the last two, and those relate to the sponsorship goal. It's $35,000 this year, $5,000 more than last year. And some of the decisions also reinforced what we had done last year, which was a very successful year for fundraising and our sponsorships. So in the memorandum at the bottom of the first page, we provide a summary of the existing sources that the commission's endorsed that we'll be using again in 2025 for our 30th anniversary. As you know, City Council added $5,000 to our budget this year, so we have $95,000 to work with. We also, again, are using our business sponsorships, which include a range of items, and those are described in the handouts that Ms. Hager and Ms. Dansky have prepared. Also, we collect vendors' fees. As you remember, a couple of years ago, we raised those from about $50 up to $100, and those all go for costs of our event. And then we do revenue sharing with certain vendors, primarily Pond Athletic Association. Mr. Siebert and I were talking about that before, and that relates to beer sales. And then finally, several of our more major sponsors do in-kind as well, and primarily West News Magazine. I went over a few of these at the last meeting, but I just wanted to kind of highlight again. We are working on new promotional materials, particularly the banners. I asked Ms. Chansky to kind of go over those. We also, for your direction, we have the memorial pavers. And those memorial pavers, which we'd like to open up her share screen. Give us a second. He's doing that. I'm going to jump to the next item. Years ago, was when we used to go to the event up where the senior care facility is located and the dentist office are located. We used to sell Wildwood wear. And as you know, we give away a T-shirt, or a souvenir, the scavenger hunt. We always seem to consistently get questions at the Wildwood tent about, do you have anything to sell today? Typically don't, because obviously we're giving away the shirt to the participants that complete the scavenger hunt. And then we're also promoting probably, I think it's the 7K Shivering Shadows. And we usually have the shirt there. Yeah. So the thought was maybe we sell just a T-shirt, the 30th anniversary T-shirt with the new logo on it and something else maybe on it as well. I don't know. I don't want to overdo it, but we could certainly do it. And as you know, if you've attended a walk, terrible walk, run, any of those types of events, oftentimes sponsors are listed on the shirts, particularly on the back of them, and they can get pretty extensive. Seen some of the shirts, there's almost nothing on the back is any, nothing on the back with sponsorships. So that was a thought. We talked about soliciting businesses outside the city of Wildwood. Years past, we wouldn't do that. We typically focus more here to keep things at home. We've all endorsed that, and we did have several last year that participated that were not businesses. We're going to basically use the new resident packet for the purposes of advertising the event as we get closer. We talked about August and September. May not sound like much, but each month we send out about 100 new resident packets to households. So even if that's just 200 or 300 new households that are here in Wildwood, basically can hit about 900 people. So
Yes.
That's all right.
and then finally, as we've talked in the past with the new venue, which is what we're trying to bring up to show you, we're going to reduce costs just in terms of some of the services we have to pay for. Venue functional for our purposes, and primarily that's electric. The cost is $20,000. Now, we'll probably still want to engage an electrician that day, because if people plug in their different things at the vendors and crafters and food court areas, we seem to create some kind of issue. So we want to make sure that if there is a problem with our new electrical system or with the vendor, we have somebody that can assist. So there's one that was off the page for tonight's meeting, and that is communications manager Gina Tard has taken a new position with Clayton School District. And today was her last day with the city. We will fill that position, but just not sure who that will be or when it will be. Our city administrator, Thomas Lee, has made a commitment to fill that position as quickly as possible. It's kind of up in the air at the moment. And so we already have held a meeting with our past person, that being Debbie Ward of Silver Tablet Marketing, who's done our Facebook, Instagram, and other posts in advance of the event. So we have a plan B, if you're wondering. So new tonight is to talk about our promotional banners, memorial pavers, and then we all think about selling some shirts or other Wildwood gear at the event. See if we can basically make offset that cost. Hey, there it is.
Yay.
Good job.
Sorry, folks.
Well done. Sure. So I don't know how familiar you all are with the plan. I think you've seen it before, but this is the old. There's two components to it. There's a concrete surface, and then there's now pavers. So it'll all be hard surface, and everything's been designed and intended to accommodate light vehicles, passenger cars, vans, and it's 20+ feet wide. So you can set a 10 by 10 tent up and still have a 10-foot wide area to walk. The intent would be that we set the vendors on the outside, so when they store their materials, it's not on the inside of the oval, which is the performance zone for the stage. And this part is designed to accommodate 100 10 by 10 tents. So more than we could accommodate on it, up Main Street. Around the perimeter, this area will be turf, cut, finished cut. So those are the areas we're looking to place, like the bounce houses, the pony ride, and the other kids areas and things along those lines. Here is the future Mayor's Grove, where we have the trees in honor of each of the mayors that have served the city of Wildwood. And these are the areas where we can also sell memorial favors if we choose. In your packet of information, we have a program over at Old Town School. It's a small paver that's $50. There's a large, primarily 4 of the small ones put together, but it's a single paver, 4 pavers connected. And that's $200. We sold a lot when we first opened Old Pond School in the park. We sold a great number of them. Obviously, this is a very different situation. You're here next to City Hall, our major performance location, the venue for the future. Essen Log Cabin, which is going to be reassembled here. And up in here, the City Council has authorized and we've received grant for an all-inclusive playground, which means any child or individual that has any special needs can be accommodated there and play. Everyone else, just as if there were no obstacles for them. So that's going to be a major draw. The company that we're using for consulting purposes, Unlimited Play, has built many of these around the area. The one in St. Peter's is probably the one that's Lake St. Louis. They're doing Queen Park. These become regional destinations and generate a whole lot of interest. So the Village Green is blossoming very quickly. So again, I asked Stager and Ms. Chansky to talk about the promotional items that are new, the banners. And I also want to kind of touch on selling products. Chair's permission, I'll turn it over to them. Thank you.
Okay. We put together our sponsorship letter. And on the back of it, you'll see all the opportunities, what a sponsor gets. And we have actually raised the price of a community sponsorship to $200. That was from $150. We felt that, hey, it's our year. Let's bump it up a little. And our community plus, that one includes a booth, and that we moved to 300. So that's really the only changes. We did add the sponsor benefits to include the resident packet. We didn't really have that last year. Then the next page is 2 sample designs of the banners that'll be on Taylor. One is the more horizontal version, and then the vertical version. And we want to just bring that to see what you thought, which you liked better.
And which you prefer.
And this would be a series of banners. To join the celebration would be one with that color. Just come and play would be another with that color, and it would lead down the row. And then we'd have our other banners with our sponsors on it, with their logos.
So your thoughts on the proposed or potential banners? Is there a preference between one or the other? Any initial thoughts and any suggestions?
My preference is the first mock-up with the horizontal bars. But part of that is visually because it's a white background printed on white. So my eye can't tell exactly where the flag cuts off. So because of that, it looks like the letter C to celebration is you know, really close to the left bar banner. And it's probably just centered in the flag, but it gives the feeling that everything's a little squished because
It
it's
is.
nearly touching to fit
Agreed.
it all. So I think it fits better because you can take the widths of the word, make the graphic bigger with the bookend of the top bar and the bottom bar. The whole font will be bigger. Yeah, okay.
Be like a border.
Oh. So buy one, get one borders, or is it already?
It
Does it-
certainly,
This.
it certainly could.
Like it goes all the way around the flag? I don't know that it's necessary, but it might. Do you guys have opinions on the flags?
I'm not sure I like the word, the
Font.
the font for join the celebration. I'm not sure.
Are you worried about it?
Not party enough?
Just, so I don't, it doesn't flow for me right. I don't know.
More traditional, Miss Jelly?
I guess I am a very
Well,
traditional person.
I do want to share that it is the same font as Be a Sponsor. It's the same font that we used on the Be a Sponsor, and the next page, we also use it again in the poster, which everything is changeable.
Yeah, if you don't like it, you're gonna see a lot of it, I guess.
I guess it just
Just on kids
looks,
things, I think it's fine, but for us to wear, I don't know if I think looks.
on the sponsor, it's reversed out of the background. So I guess you don't notice the difference in the font as much. So maybe that's why, I mean, I honestly, I didn't even notice that on the sponsor. But
Yeah.
I don't like the really skinny, thin letters, so.
we're gonna see a lot of it, so, so there you
Yeah,
go.
I don't know.
Is there a font that mirrors the font style of Wildwood in the logo?
Certainly could be.
See, I like, that's why, maybe that's why I don't think it's cohesive to me, because I like it up top and I'm not sure I like it.
It's because everything's closer together, so the styles you maybe look like they're clashing.
Yeah.
Okay, I
You mean the
understand.
Wildwood in the logo,
Mhm.
like that country look?
I mean, it would be a solid black. So. And not art. So it'd be all caps and then. It would just kind of have that little
Oh, we
pointy
try.
point out, and then I'm wondering if that,
We have time to try.
and if not, we know what we can go, we always have.
No worries.
So in the logo, we didn't use that font. We didn't think necessarily that might be appropriate. That's another choice. With the logo design, obviously the gentleman that created it used a font. We could replicate that as well. So there's a couple of choices. Our traditional font, which you see in almost everything, Wildwood, that's the Wildwood logo. Try to emulate what's in the logo, prepared for the 30th anniversary. Something that's a little more standardized, traditional, still attractive.
Maybe if you could just, compare, see something so we can compare it to
Sure.
this and, I mean,
Less kid-like?
yeah.
I mean, I think it's great for kids, I don't, but.
We can, and if we can get it done in a reasonable amount of time, we can probably I'd like to think we could get it to you before the meeting in March, so you could have some time. Look at it that way and then be prepared and talk to logos we'll give you at least 3 options.
Okay.
That's acceptable to the chair and commission.
I think as long as join the celebration is in a different font than the font style used at the top and the bottom Saturday, it'll stand out. Be touching.
Well, I guess I'll just caution us collectively is that I don't want too many fonts, too many different style fonts. I think it muddles the message, so to speak. So see what we can do to kind of give you some options, but some consistency amongst those options.
Okay, so just to clarify from the commission, are you all wanting another mock-up as well with this font? To be similar to the banner style, or do you like this font and then?
No, I mean, that one,
That one it doesn't.
yeah, that to me doesn't
And my other thing was, do you guys like the date down low or do you like the date? So the first one is, underneath. I'm not sure if I think it,
You want to flip it, so celebrate.
I mean, I think I like it better with the,
I like the date in the middle.
instead of down below.
It gets lost.
Are we creating a monster here with these changes?
This,
So did we decide we like to go in this way? Or have we not decided that yet?
I don't know that we've officially decided. I would just recommend that it would be this way.
Okay, why don't we, you want to vote on this part, the way it goes first then? So I think I put a motion on the floor that we do it
Vertically.
vertically.
Okay, made by Commissioner Daling,
on,
second.
which-
Second.
Horizontal.
Oh, I guess I'm
I'm looking
saying
at
this.
this way.
Okay,
It's vertical.
okay, we'll call
Right.
that vertical.
Okay.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Silverman. Just to clarify in the motion would include coming back with additional font styles.
Well, I'm just doing this motion first. I just want to make sure, so I know which way we're going.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
This orientation. Without objection, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, any abstain?
Thank you.
So now we can do just another motion for clarification for the department. So coming back with maybe some more design options with font. Now's the time to say if you want to see a different orientation with the date in a different location. Potentially, yes.
Okay. Can we look at the poster also?
Yes, let's look at the
Yeah,
poster.
Only because, well, mainly, so you do not like this kid version.
I don't think I minded on this.
I don't either. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't,
It just on this, I just don't know why it's bothered me on this one.
So-
I don't mind it all on this. And I
Yeah.
don't mind it across, I don't mind that at all. This is fine for me. I don't know why, it doesn't seem like I like the way it looks on on the t-shirt like that. I don't know. Maybe, but that's okay. If everybody else likes it, it's okay.
This is the street banner, so they're gonna be really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ms. Chansky.
Yeah.
Other than the just come and play on
oh,
schedule,
yeah.
is the font identical?
It's identical on all of it. Be a sponsor, the just come and play, the join the celebration. It's,
But I guess what I'm saying, other than this, is this font,
yes,
you use the same font?
correct.
So on this, we have a single font other than just come and play.
Yes,
Saying that correctly?
yes.
Thank you. So, just so you're
Fine.
aware.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Even, and I guess even since we picking at this style, I don't know I can't decide how you decide. I like it, I'm okay with it this way. I don't know why this one, it just didn't seem to work for me. On this, having it this way, so.
Is it
talking about that
is it possible the word live music needs to go slightly to the left and fireworks?
Sure it does.
Okay. I've turned into my mother. I'm a picture straightener. And it looks slightly, I'm a good leveler. And I think it needs to go slightly to the left. The other kinds of this thing.
Without parade.
I think parade's centered
Oh,
in between Celebrate Wildwood, closer to center.
up here.
I know what happened. There's all those blocks in multiple places to center.
Should be just centered.
I mean, I like.
I can center
I
everything.
mean, the poster.
I did not center everything earlier because I just had I'll center everything. It's fine.
We'll try that.
Yep.
Thank you. So
So I can see how it would look when it's on a big thing, but I'm just worried about when it's on the shirts, I guess.
That would never be on a shirt.
Oh, so we would just have we'll just have the logo on the shirt? I don't know, I just asked.
Well, we haven't really designed a shirt, but
Okay.
to me, that would not, these phrases really wouldn't even be on a shirt.
I just thought because you said it's gone, we're seeing so much of it that.
Oh, don't put it on a shirt. Got it.
That's how I was thinking. I was looking at it,
Ms.
a
Darling?
smaller version.
That's great, because it sounds like you all want shirts. I think it's great. I
Yeah.
think we should
Yeah,
all-
definitely one shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just my opinion. You
I
all
do
are
too.
the bosses. So in this, we're going with what we've described as the horizontal orientation because there's no vertical bar. We're going to bring back at least 3 different fonts, one inclusive of what we use in for the purposes of our Wildwood materials, or traditional ones. Maybe, should we try the logo font, if we know what that is?
I'll find it.
Okay. So that the logo font would be replicated. And see what that.
I think it's a good idea.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
It's really
Are
great.
we gonna leave this discussion now?
Not yet.
Okay,
I think we need a motion on this.
okay.
We can make those changes and bring them back to you all for consideration, because I would like to wrap up the styles, because we're already advertising out to the businesses for sponsorships. And the promise we made to them is maybe we can get some of these up a little sooner than later.
Great.
Sure.
The idea being, again, try to generate as many sponsors as we can. So,
Okay.
yes.
So we need a motion that we will have examples.
Yes, as a department, we'll come back with example text, placement, and font changes for the posters with lack of a better term, the horizontal.
That's what I.
It's your motion. Okay, and I'll second that.
And final mock-up of poster. Okay, made by Commissioner Lynn, it's about elevated you to council member, made by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner.
I know.
Did it again.
Not a council
You've
member.
been drafted. Take my draft. All right, without objection, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstained? Motion carries. Can we go to the selling of items? Touch base back on that? Okay, I think it'll go great guns. The 2 things you might want to think you'll consider is, in addition to the traditional t-shirts that we always have, some maybe lower cost fun tchotchke item that isn't disposable. So like, I think enamel pins are collectible. That might be cute. You could also do a tote bag that could be labeled with something about our farmers market. Because we use a lot of reusable bags at farmers markets, it might be a nice way to kind of tie that in with the city logo. And it would be something somebody that's already bought city stuff years ago would have and would use.
Remember in the last week, we done a boat bag.
You gave the
Be
green
hard.
ones away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But they didn't really have anything Wildwood on them, I don't think.
Just said Wildwood. It just said Wildwood.
Yeah, maybe something with a zipper or cotton or pockets or something that looks, like
Think of what we did for the scrapbookers. We did something like that. Didn't we have a bag with Wildwood on the side? It's a canvas bag or something.
Yeah, we have one. We have those.
And the second item you mentioned was something,
enamel pins.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I still have my one from one of our painting art events, the plein air, and I have it on a board.
Stick on
A pen to you, yeah.
Oh,
Collective
I
pen,
bet
the
you
collective
know.
pen.
I did too.
Oh, yeah,
Pen,
sorry.
Yeah.
Pins.
pen, not a pen, yeah.
T-shirts, tote bags.
For your voodoo dolls, yeah, like I have.
Pin.
Explains why I hurt so much.
So the second place winner, didn't they get a bunch of Wildwood stuff? What did we give them?
Actually, the winner got $500, the runner-up got $250. And then the honorable mention, that was the third pick of all of you, we gave them the Wildwood gear.
Gear. So what was all in the gear?
I'd have to defer to the creators.
Do you remember?
Whatever they can.
Just mainly shirt,
Yeah.
yeah, like t-shirts, sweatshirts. We've got,
From the stash.
yeah, we have our stash in the back,
Yeah,
a bag. One of our bags, I think, might have been a laptop. Did we throw in a laptop bag and or pad folio maybe?
Yeah, obviously, we have a lot of laptops.
We'd like to sell them.
Right?
So,
Can try those.
so here's the circumstance. Each year, obviously, you know, we celebrate our volunteers, both those that are elected and those that serve on commission boards, et cetera. And we always give a gift at the event. And one year we gave a pet folio, one year we gave a laptop bag. They're very nice.
Shirts.
So like I say, if you want a laptop bag, we can get you one before you leave. Got a bunch of them back there. And I don't know why, but what we find is most people like clothing to wear versus. So this year we-
I like sweatshirts if you wanted, like, I like crew neck sweatshirts. I don't know. If it's September, I'm thinking, you know, it's a little cool. We would sell sweatshirts. And I don't know I don't know what our design's gonna be. I guess we haven't decided that. I was all mixed up on this thing, so. But I would like a sweatshirt, you know. I remember some of the old ones. I used to see a lot of the old council people have even the police zip ups they had,
Yeah.
you know. But we don't have anything that, you know, any swag to buy for this. At least I don't see very much. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
And it's late September, we're going into fall and then winter, so a sweatshirt might be just a perfect item.
So are you talking crew neck or
I like
like
crew
a
neck.
hoodie?
I'm a crew neck like she's got on.
Yeah.
But I do a zip up too.
Yeah,
I got a zip up
think.
one right here. I like zip
When
ups
it's
too.
cold out.
To try, so they're still the meeting here. We actually can show you what one might look like if you give us a second.
That would be great. I still would love to see Christmas ornaments or holiday ornaments for sale sometime.
With
Oh, Wildwood ornament?
Yes, I was still.
East Van.
That-
I got
On the tree this year. if you look at it.
I've got a Union Station one. I've got a, yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, that's a great idea.
I have no idea.
We could sell those too.
So we did talk last year at the end of the event last year, that it was really hot.
It was very hot.
And those
It
who
was
did
dead.
sell sweatshirts did not do well.
Yeah,
So I don't.
that's the bad part about
But
it.
we don't know.
From the event, okay.
So
Yeah,
how-
it's gonna be chilly.
We're only
Yeah.
hoping,
so when's
It's gonna be
farmer
chilly, we
market
know.
over?
But you
please.
can always, like you
So
said, we
early
could sell.
October.
We could sell them in
Farmers
October.
market. Yeah, I
We
think,
don't have this, we don't have a staff designation.
How would we
for-
do that?
Well, we-
We would
volunteer.
volunteer.
well, we were going to, but they didn't have the square ready for us to,
So-
we couldn't do it yet.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Okay.
That's what they, this is Teespring, we used them over the years. But as soon as the logo was adopted, we sent them I should say Chris and Stacy. Yeah, that's what it looks like on there.
See that,
The
I like
water
that
bottle.
2775 one right there.
I would do the water. I need to get rid of some of my reused.
I like that,
supplies.
the water bottle.
And then that's finally.
There's a canvas bag,
On the
guys.
left, yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
canvas bag.
And we have our regular logo in the shop as well.
Are
Yeah, I
there
like-
options for embroidery on the regular logo on t-shirts or hoodies?
Not through here,
Okay.
but through our regular.
Looks embroidered, right?
I think this one is.
That one is.
That
I
Okay.
think, yeah.
Huh.
But there's all different colors, like
Sure.
you'll see down here where there's different
There, oh,
colors.
there's the crew neck. I like the crew neck.
There's a water bottle. Let me see if I can click on it.
Oh.
It's hard to
That's
tell.
cool.
but-
Yeah, the water bottle's nice, all those bike riders
Send
and
a picture. Love it.
Oh,
Right,
okay,
there you
okay,
go.
thanks. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, there's tons of, and this is direct, so you purchase it and they ship it direct to you. And this is a sticker. Sweatshirts. All sorts of t-shirts. There's a little crew neck.
I know. You can't do that large though. I don't really want.
Is the plan to have extra items for people to buy there, or is the plan to have a QR code up and people?
Prefer to have some items for sale. Yeah, maybe we'll have to think about it a bit, but obviously like the pins, holiday ornaments, water bottles, book bags, we could have them there. You know, it's when you get into clothing that we have to have the multiple sizes and sure. And then I'm a firm believer you don't buy just male sizes and have the women have to wear male clothing. So we usually buy men's and women's clothing sizes. So I would say we could probably, if the commission would want to, we could buy some of the merchandise and then just have a limited selection and then take orders or something. I don't know.
Well, that's good.
You know, the idea is here, we'll collect money all the way through the end of the year because the budget year doesn't end until December 31st. So if we even make sales after the event, we're still making money for the event.
I mean, if you get down to the last of the item and what you hear is people that are holding it up or want to see it, or, you know, maybe they're concerned about what size to order, you could always reserve the last of every size and hang it up, and then somebody could hold it up to their body so that they have a concern about ordering and returning, they would know what would fit ahead of time, as opposed to selling every single one.
And I think if you had leftover like ornaments, if we decided to go through it, you would sell them at, you could sell them at the Christmas tree
event,
lighting
exactly.
thing, for
Yeah.
sure. I think you could sell sweatshirts that night too, personally, but
And the other thing we could
Leftovers.
do, you know, I still get, we don't sell them anymore, but during the pandemic, we did note cards. And on top of the note card was the winners of our photography contest. So we could certainly try something like that too. There's a lot of ideas, but if you're willing to consider selling Wildwood wear and celebration items, I actually think people buy that stuff.
No, we're willing,
I would tell you not
Go
to buy
forth
small
and
babies.
find
Nobody
the
buys
things
small.
that you think that
I would never ever
want to see
sell
us
the
sell.
medium at the-
We'll see if we can get some samples too, so you can see them in person.
Okay, so let's just do one formal motion to approve the sale of Wildwood branded goods, and I would recommend leaving it generic, and then
Good. I like that.
we can go from there. Does that sound all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'd love a motion.
Motion for that.
Made by Commissioner Silverman,
I'll
seconded by Commissioner Lind. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
With a minute.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. All right. Okay, so we're on to the brick pavers, is that
Wait
correct?
a second,
Yes.
I've got a point.
Yeah.
We talked about revenue enhancement. First of all, I'm gonna apologize for my voice. But we talked about revenue enhancements, and one way to enhance revenue is to address this sweetheart deal we have with the beer concession. Why don't we take the beer concession out to the market and see if we can get a better deal? To see, it doesn't mean that the current concessionaires can't continue, but it means they have to compete on a level playing field with other organizations in Wildwood.
Well, one thing that I think might happen over time is we do have a new microbrewery opening called Good News.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their mobile capabilities are, but when I do go to other area events like in Maplewood or Webster Groves, there typically is a local brewery that sells their items only, and then there'll be another organization that sells what you think of as NBEV products, so Budweiser and that collective brand. And that might be a nonprofit, so there are ways to continue to do both in the future.
Well, how does that deal with the imbalance that we have with the current beer concession? It's a very much imbalance. They take no risk, they provide no product, and they get all the revenue. And so in my way of thinking, it's picking winners and losers. We picked a winner and we've stayed with that for years.
I understand your concerns. I would say in my mind, it's very similar to a food truck where they also.
No, it's
keep their
not,
proceeds.
because a food truck takes a risk. They have to provide the food. If the food doesn't sell, they take a loss. So this thing with the big concession, there's no risk. All they provide is some labor. They provide nothing but labor. They take no risk at all, and they get all the profitability, less a small concession fee.
Well, Mr. Siebert, they purchased the beer.
Right, but they take no risk because the beer can be returned.
Well, the kegs that are untapped can be.
Right,
yes,
right.
But
Right.
Did we get paid from the, yeah?
not yet.
Okay, I just was curious, but I didn't know what it was this year.
It was still 12%. That was the amount that the commission agreed to, that the first year we did 12%. We agreed to do 12% again in 2024. We could certainly raise that amount, or as Mr. Siebert says, we've had that discussion before. Instead of just assuming that Pond Athletic Association has the sole primary beer sales, we do have craft beers sold on occasion. I,
We had Tipsy Clover, we had Chillax a
Yeah.
couple years ago with craft.
But like I say, it's principally been Pond Athletic Association. They sell Anheuser-Busch products, some pretzels along with it. For the most part, I think I think they do pretty well, all in all. So it's really up to you as the commission. If you want us to basically see if there's like Tipsy Clover may want to sell beer, and we could make that offer to them if they want to do revenue sharing. And if one beer vendor wants to do revenue sharing, is willing to do a greater percentage of revenue sharing, then obviously that's a pretty simple decision for the commission. Although I explained to Mr. Siebert before the meeting, part of it is that it's a local not-for-profit. Most of the players at their facility are Wildwood kids, and we've always just wanted to help them. Because they depend a whole lot on their fundraising. And I think we as the city give them $5,000 each year as a stipend. And as part of that, they have to show us their can't think of the word.
A spreadsheet.
Yes, thank you. And I think last year they had like a $2,000 profit at the end of it all. So it's really, it's a thin margin for them.
So that was their profit,
Their
their
profit
profit.
overall.
For the whole year, not just for us.
Yeah.
Of, their trivia events, the Celebrate Wildwood, international games, all the things they do as revenue sources. They ended up with about $2,000.
What group is this?
Pond Athletic Association,
It's what?
the Pond Athletic
Oh,
Association.
Pond, oh, okay.
I apologize if I'm not talking loud enough. But again, I told Mr. Siebert, it's really up to you. We did we made some of these decisions early on when the event wasn't necessarily as popular as it was. And so we were trying to make people interested in the event, be loyal to the event, and promote the event. Maybe those things aren't needed now because we do have a pretty good track record now. We're consistently getting 100+ vendors, whether it be food, crafters, artists, authors. The vendors, the food court vendors are doing very well. Last year, as we told you, the barbecues decided to go over to Deerberg's and get more meat because they ran out. So it's really your call. That's what we're here for.
Do we have any idea how that would benefit us? I mean, how, I'm talking, dollar amount. Do we have any idea?
Well, I think, and I don't remember the budget, and pardon me, Madam Chair, if I'm speaking to, I don't remember the exact total, but let's say last year we ended up, the event cost about $120,000, something like that. And between the sponsorships, the in-kind, everything along those lines, it was $110,000. We ended up actually not needing all of the funds that the city council had set aside because we offset that through the fees, the sponsorships, et cetera. It's about $110,000. So if we they sell $10,000 worth of beer and we get $1,200. In the scheme of things, it's money saved, but in terms of a percentage of the overall event's cost, not that much.
Is that about what we got last year, about $1,200? Oh, you don't
It
know.
was.
Okay.
But we haven't had a lot of other groups approach the city and say, hey, we want to sell. You know, can we?
I'll turn to Chris and Stacy, but when we've talked to some of the vendors about revenue sharing, am I stating that wrong? So that's
Don't
part
know
of it.
that we're gonna get another group that is a for-profit group or business that would be willing to revenue share. I think they would just say, well, you know, as long as you guarantee a minimum amount of sales,
Right.
you know, we'll be here.
Well, we could have another non-for-profit other than Pond Athletic.
Sure.
There's places, this 67 square miles, there's gotta be somebody else that could compete with them. And if anything, we could have a better outcome.
You advertise a lot for the Knights of Columbus, St. Alvin Road
Mhm.
Catholic Church, and I know that they do beer sales.
Right,
Fish fries, everything.
right.
And so from that perspective, we could certainly look at places of worship.
Lions Club.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's about 100 churches here in Wildwood, maybe not 100, but there's quite a few churches. And if we make it a fundraiser event and we tell the fundraisers what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it out to bid and just give it a chance to enhance our revenue position. Because, I mean, it's been a pretty good ride. It's been going on like this for years, 10 years since the beginning. And without anybody rocking the boat at all. It seems to me we're picking winners and losers, and we picked a winner, and we're staying with that winner for 20 years. And it's time to open it up to others.
You certainly can. Again, it's the commission's decision. What I will tell you though is when we used to have conversations about revenue sharing, when we had multi-day events, they were much more receptive to it. The commissions at that time chose not to do it because again, we're a fledgling event, particularly our art festival. And we are trying to entice good artists. And the more we talk to them about higher fees and this and that, the less likely they said they'd be interested in participating. But
I think that's my fear all the way around is I guess making them angry where they don't even want to participate. So, I don't know.
I would not want to burn a bridge. I think any
Yeah.
group that would like to get in on the action is free to approach the city. I don't know that it's worth soliciting, you know, if the volunteer wants to do that in their spare time and bring a group to the city, that's fine. I don't think it's worth staff time calling different community groups, asking if they want to participate.
again, like I say, Pond Athletic has a good record there. They show up, they have a lot of volunteers. It's difficult at times to get them to follow through on their commitments to the city. It's not like it's been a perfect relationship, as Mr. Siebert's kind of alluded to, but again, we've always fallen back on, they're doing things to help Wildwood children and their families, and that's a pretty good cause, I think. And so we've stuck with it. But we can do exploration and see what maybe is out there. I just think that we need more foot traffic. We probably need an extra day for the event, and I think we could see real benefits from revenue sharing that. But we try our best to generate the foot traffic. You've even mentioned in our recaps, you know, there's always that lull in mid-afternoon till the concert where the vendors always kind of tell us, you know, I wish we could fill that space. And there's been some ideas this year between that kind of 4 o'clock to 6:45 time, doing more things. The line dancing, et cetera, that kind of keep people engaged and keep them here. But it's your call. If you want us to explore something other than Pond Athletic Association, we'll be glad to at least talk to some of the other not-for-profits in the area. And if you want to think about it, if you have time, revisit this in March.
Maybe you'll know next month how much we're gonna get from them.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it was around March that we found out last year, so.
It takes a while because, you know, I think they're on the same kind of fiscal year we are, January 1 to December 31, so get back with them. And then obviously the winter weather in January slowed everybody down. It just seemed like that
Yeah, really.
people weren't used to it, and it certainly wasn't fun getting out and getting around in it, so. So we'll put this on the agenda in March. We'll do a little bit of research and then we'll give you some options.
So what type of research are we gonna have?
I'm gonna look around and maybe we'll call a couple of other of the local festivals that are held around town. Just ask how they handle this revenue sharing and do they have multiple ones where they basically ask? And are there certain types that they prefer or don't prefer? And then
Right.
how much money do they make from it?
Right.
So we'll see what we can come up with.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so I have a second enhancement idea.
Sure.
So this is the 30th anniversary of Wildwood. And we've always tried to solicit quality vendors. And at times we have problems. But we've got a 30-year track record now. Couldn't we invite those high-quality vendors that have left us? Because we have a 30th anniversary, we have a new venue, and we probably are gonna have increased foot traffic. So not all of the vendors to be re-invited, but those that we consider quality vendors. We've had a decline in the type and quality of our vendors over the years for various reasons. But maybe it was foot traffic, maybe it was the venue, maybe it was the times, who knows? But if people like to be asked. So if we ask them, maybe that'll be the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe they'll say, well, if you ask me, well, sure, I'll join you again. And we can pick winners and losers that way because we don't have to invite everybody back, but those that we consider to be high quality vendors, we can invite back. And if we get a strike rate of 30% or 20%, we got a 30-year history that we can draw from.
So I'll ask Chris and Stacy, we do contact previous vendors. How far back do we go?
We've been going back a few years because we've noticed some of them are no longer doing, art or something, but we did go back a few years. I know this year we did reach out, like, I know Miss Eden's reached out, to some higher quality vendors. I think we had the Burrows list. Is that what we had? Or
We
the
did.
Forest Hills? We had a couple lists.
We invited the plein air winners or?
Yeah,
Ms. Schultz, didn't she give us something from John Burroughs?
I
their
think it was
craft
the
fair?
Burrows list and we really there were lots. And we went through and really looked at the vendors and looked at their items. We invited a bunch of them. The Forest Hills list, I know we looked at, so it was more than, dog treats and, that kind of stuff. It was more art. I know Miss Eden's was really targeting certain people as well. So we really did. We don't want to go too far back because, like I said, I think some of those aren't really doing that anymore, but I mean, we could do a little bit more research on some of the older vendors to see if they
What kind
are.
of response did you have when you reached back?
We usually get the same ones from the past few years.
What are those?
Those are the dog treats, the wreaths,
The crafters.
the crafters. We really do have some that come back year after year. David Ventimiglia, I think he's photography or is
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Real high quality. There's another guy that does painting, really nice, and his stuff's not cheap.
Right.
And he did great this year.
Well, good.
Yep. So I know there's some, but then there's other ones, like we did have an artist from Plein Air.
Me too.
Yeah,
And
and
both of them did not do well.
yeah.
But
they
if
didn't
we
do well.
play up the new venue and we play up, whatever changes we're gonna make, we can, kind of set the stage for a new beginning, a 30-year anniversary, shindig, a new setting with the, we headed up there a little while ago.
Right.
And so maybe that is something that would entice people to come back.
Certainly work towards that and hopefully we'll I'll find some other, I've got a
Okay.
some other folks to send your way.
I just tell you, I went this weekend, I was at, Shapley Tap Room down in,
People-
and no, it's the one downtown, across from city,
Yep.
the city park.
Sorry.
And they had huge, all local artists this week, and the stuff was very reasonably priced, and there's some wonderful artists that are all local people. And I don't know, one guy I work out with over here at Alloy, his name's Matt Rebel, and he has a place up in Chesterfield. Matt Rebel, he's
That's
the
him.
Rebel Art.
Rebel Art.
I
He
think he's
comes-
the one
he
that
comes
does it
every
really
year.
well.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
he
painting.
Works out at Alloy with me.
Mhm.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. But he would have the list because he set that whole art thing up at Chaffley this week. It was supposed to be at the Foundry and then they closed on it and Chaffley took them. And the local artists were wonderful. I got a wonderful pencil drawing of all a person from every World Series. It was just, and another local artist had a Basilica picture. There was just a lot of local stuff and it was, I think, and it would, like I said, it wasn't too high price that people wouldn't buy it. So woodworkers was really
Yeah,
good.
maybe we could reach out to him. and-
I'll talk to Matt when
Okay.
he's there tomorrow.
I bet it's some of the same artists that show at the Tower Grove Farmers Market, because that's a.
Some of
really
them do,
nice-
I know, do the Queenie Park. And those couple of
Okay.
them were at Queenie, but they loved it because it wasn't expensive, wasn't charged to come in and they were selling like crazy. Matt said it was wonderful.
Oh,
So-
so, Ms. Jelling, was that a multiple day event or just a single?
It actually was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I went on Saturday. It was great, cold outside, it was great. Fun.
Okay.
I'll talk to Matt Triple.
Yes, please.
If he's willing to share, we're certainly.
Yeah.
willing to The context. Good suggestion.
Ready for bricks?
Yes.
So memorial pavers, there's probably, we shouldn't call them memorial pavers, but as I mentioned, Madam Chair and members of the commission, we've been doing this over at Old Pond School since 2006. It's a successful program. They, all in all, we haven't necessarily filled that back patio area with pavers with inscriptions. Chris was kind enough to kind of pull together the different options that are available. And certainly, as I mentioned, we've done dollars for the smaller version and dollars for the larger version. And depending on size, you can add more to it or not. And certainly. Again, with the new venue and the opportunity to add this to it as part of the page. We thought it might be something that if you all mentioned and suggested we should consider. So it's before you tonight. I'm not sure of all the logistics. Is it the booth that we have at the event where people can purchase a paver? Or do we do some kind of promotion in advance of it? And it's venue ready, which it should be, at being Village Green, and have some installed. Or we can certainly, if we're not at that stage, we can have a list of all the people that have purchased pavers at the city tent, or we can do announcements about them. There's ways to make it so we know that they're being recognized for their contribution. I'm hopeful that if people purchase the brick prior to the event, if we advertise it prior to the event, we can have many of them over place at the venue for the event on September 20th. So what you all think?
So it wouldn't have to be a memorial with it.
No, I think
Okay.
that's a bad term and I
Okay.
apologize for using it. It should be some kind of commemorative or something that's positive.
Yeah.
Instead of always assuming that someone has to pass or there has to be something bad happen to get one.
Yeah. I think if you all like this, what would be appropriate would be a motion to proceed forward with a program. Maybe we'll keep the wording a little loose because we don't know at what stage we'll be at yet. And for this to kind of come back on a later agenda. What else, if you have in terms of thoughts?
Madam Chair, if I may, Chris, since you kind of handle the program.
It's about a 6-week turnaround for the bricks. And it's just for people that purchase them, they fill out the application. I send it over, we get approved, all good. And it takes about 6 weeks to get it. They're real easy to install, so it's one of our easiest memorial programs we have. And this company's real easy to work with. They're out of town. There's also might be options in town that we could possibly work with for the same type, so.
We do have a variety of brick types, which I like.
But you'll have a uniform pick,
Yeah.
so it will be,
And it's your call.
I think you will sell a lot of them over here because, I mean, I've been to the Ponsul only because we do our HOA meetings over there. So I see it, but it's not something I go to on a regular basis, even though the park is there, it's still not enough. But I think in this Village Green, I think it will be seen a lot. I finally saw my brick that I bought when the Blues won the championship just at Christmas this year. First time I just went and saw it. Yeah, so, yeah, I bought when they won the championship. I just saw it this year. But so, I think it's gonna go big. I think we're gonna have a lot of people.
Jillian, could you buy another one? Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I might have. Oh, well, I should this year, but for Blues, they need it.
Yeah, they
But,
do.
I think it's gonna go really well.
So really you can do anything. Anybody could do a paver.
Right.
In today's economy, look, if we stick with the prices we've charged, $50 is pretty reasonable to have something that's substantial and that'll be there for a very, very long period of time. Because we maintain them, and if we've had a couple over at Pond School crack, this was early on, and we replaced them. So, make the commitment, we keep the commitment.
I think that'd be great. So the motion you need is,
Proceed with a rec. For sale. Purchase.
and I would like to
General
do,
community.
I make a motion, we proceed with the brick paver program. And I think I'd like to, if we can get it going in the next couple of months and start selling them, it'd be nice to have some done for the event. That's my motion.
I'll second
That's not a very good motion.
No, just with permission to grant it to the department to begin commence selling as soon as they are able.
Yeah, here you go.
So how are we basically advertising for these?
Let's go ahead and get a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get my land, I just wanna, don't forget, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstain? Councilmember Silverman, you have 4.
Okay.
Commissioner.
Okay.
I did it again.
You're gonna.
I'm getting this promotion. I've done nothing. So how are we going about advertising for these papers?
Well, we'll use our traditional sources, which we've talked about a lot over the course of the last several years, that being the website, the newsletter, our social media. If we bring on a new communications manager in the regional amount of time, we'll turn that to him or her. I also think we'll be able to, more so in this vein, do it as part of our promotion for this event. Meaning that whatever other additional resources we use, whether it's the West News Magazine pull-out section, et cetera, we'll be able to double up on, so to speak, the promotional applications or venues we use. We don't do the memorial program as part of this because obviously it's a little different approach, but I think obviously we want to here.
So when we sell them, will our commission get credit like for revenue, or I'm just wondering?
Does our committee get it?
Yeah, well, will it look like we made a bunch of money for the city? I'm trying to figure out. I'm just
We
saying.
Contributed to Yeah, it'll be on the spreadsheet.
So it's gonna be a celebration
Spreadsheet.
program.
Yep.
It's
it'll
what,
be-
it'll be our program.
Yep,
Oh, that's what
exactly.
I wanted to know. Okay.
Yeah, because the memorial program comes out of the Department of Planning and Parks. But this is something that you've endorsed and something that'll be part of the celebration, I assume, for future years. We'll count it as a revenue source, you bet.
Yeah. All right, that's what I was curious about.
So just there are a couple of things. We'll- I'll talk with the general contractor. I think I remember the color paper they're using there. Did you, so remember that exterior portion of the oval is going to be all pavers. And then the Mayor's Grove is going to be a different set of pavers. I can't remember. I'm trying to, I'm confusing myself, but do you want them to match the the paver color and type that's being used in the Mayor's Grove? You want them to match what's being used in the oval? Or you want something completely different?
So I would think to match the area of placement.
Okay, we
Is
can
that
do
what you're
that.
thinking?
Unless you want them to stand out. I mean, I think if everything's gonna be all gray, concrete, and then we're gonna, I would, if they're like red bricks, I think that'd be cool, because then they would stand out in that area.
I think the color of the pavers in the oval are more of a traditional earth tone. We were going to use this material called organic lock, which is for all intents and purposes, it almost looks like a deep colored mud. And so we were going to kind of replicate that, keep a natural tone or earth tone. So yeah, the lighter brick would stand out probably more so than what's being used in the oval.
I guess the question is if the goal is eventually theoretically that all the bricks could become this, which would be amazing,
That'd be
then
something.
the entire collar changes. So it just depends on, is your goal to ultimately paint the whole thing as a different brush?
And where would it be? Where would these bricks be?
Well, initially the thought was in this area between the Yes and Log Cabin
Okay,
and here. But this is the natural surface trail that we're just installing as part of phase one.
okay.
There's actually a third phase that includes a number of additional items. That's where the water feature is to be, the splash pad. So this paver area will extend in future phases on out. So as Ian said, there could be a whole lot of pavers sold at some point in the distant future.
Okay.
And this is the paver range.
Okay, and then somewhere where I was reading, we talked about the arch. Arch, is there an arch? You know,
There was an observation part of the last phase. That was to be on the westernmost end. We have the water feature, the all-inclusive playground. There's a concession area. There'll be eventually a covered concession area, restroom facilities. It'll also provide shelter for the stage. But other than that,
okay. I just thought there was a shape, not the
we've
arch.
we've had a lot of memos about this project for over the last few years, so it's not beyond that. Something got slipped in when you do the cut and paste.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a particularly strong brick colors.
Well, why don't you let me talk to the contractor, see what, he's got a pretty good eye for this stuff. See what he thinks, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Kind of wouldn't mind seeing one.
Does he have a sample?
Yeah.
I would like to see one. Somebody. It's the red one, here's the page one.
Okay, so hopefully we'll see some samples and then.
Yep.
Moving on to the next item. Don't know if there's anything left on promotion 30x30. I think we just discussed going back to our digital marketing consultants. And then take it back to these commitments and actions.
Just one last thing, Madam Chair, on the 30 by 30 challenge, I
Yes.
talked with Ms. Chansky yesterday. We haven't gotten a whole lot of feedback yet, but then again, remember, January, we had 8 inches of snow and,
Mhm.
you know, sub-zero wind chill. So I don't know if everybody's jumping out and getting around these days, but has that changed since we?
No, I just looked it up. I didn't see any of the hashtags, but someone was signing up for the dog park yesterday and they were interested in it, and so we're hoping it gets out there. We've been leaving it down here and in the council chambers for people to take, so hopefully. So hey, if you're out there, do a hashtag on your Facebook page.
It's in every Friday edition of the newsletter. It's on our website. It's on social media.
And kiosks.
And yeah, I always forget that. Chris and Stacy, they do all the park inspections each day. And so they put a lot of our information about events in the park kiosks. They all have all those, yes, they're the boxes with the glass.
Things, yeah.
So we try to get it out to where the people.
It'll take, it's been an unusual winter.
Mhm.
January is the boozy. You'll see it in the expenditures at the.
Yeah,
council
I have a
meeting.
feeling the road salt budget went way up. That's all right.
Tom with the tear in his eye.
Updates on activities, commitments, and actions, and then after the department presents, I do have a tangential update based on my public works meeting last night.
We still have some items underway, some big ones, the event location layout, as we know, Village Green still underway. Fireworks, I think we talked about doing something exciting with a 30 in the air, but they haven't been able to test yet because of the weather. So that one will still be in progress. Waste services, I did contact them to save the date. We haven't started anything with volunteers yet, but the sponsorships, we have opened up the application for sponsorships. We opened that up on January 22nd. And that was presented or talked about at the business forum that took place, I believe, on January 23rd. So that was the businesses there that it was talked about then. Bistro lighting, until we have more of a layout, we won't know what we want to do there, but Mr. Bunich and Mr. Lee and us, we talked about that tonight, figure out, that's just gonna have to take when we get closer, but definitely want it all pretty and lit up.
If I can interrupt, I apologize.
Go ahead.
So, in terms of bistro lighting, we actually have a plan that we may end up adding bistro lighting to the Civic Oval. So that besides the more traditional pole lighting, we'll have some bistro lighting strung over the stage area.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. And then around the perimeter of the oval itself. So we have a plan for that. And if we get lucky and we actually get some cost savings around here somewhere, maybe able to do that, have it in place for the event itself. Don't hold me to that, but that's what we're hoping for. So.
It'd be pretty.
It's gonna be a beautiful spot, trust me.
Yeah, it sounds pretty. We're excited. Police services, as we know, under the supervision of Police Officer DeGeller and now Police Officer Fisher will be here to assist as well. So I'm excited for that as well. We do have a few items completed. As we know, the event date, the electric, portable restrooms, and our entertainment schedule is complete. Our daytime band, Wild Horse Creek Band. We have a special activity, which is listed special activity, but you might have noticed on the actual poster, it lists what that special activity is. And that's a pretty exciting children's activity. Babaloo. Don't know if anyone's familiar with Babaloo, but he's a well-loved children's
Entertainer.
And he is also part of the Wild Horse Creek Band. So he's gonna hop off the stage. He's gonna fill in that period, which Mr. Bunich talked about, kind of a little lull in there. So we're throwing in our foam party. I think 12:30 we did the foam party. We're gonna have Babaloo at 4:30 and another foam party at 5:30. And those foam parties really do attract the kids. So We're trying to fill in those little lull periods. I think,
If you're available when Babaloo's out there, you will see him basically take a leaf blower and somehow attach toilet paper and make the biggest mess ever. And the kids love it, so.
Of course.
It's very interesting, very creative. He's fun too.
yeah, he's really excited to perform too. Yeah, so he's doing double duty that day. Parade items, that one we haven't,
It's open.
it's open. Okay, parade registration is open. So we're good there. I'll reach out to Schnutz too. I haven't done that yet. So, parade, you know, that one will be coming. But you are welcome to join up. Well, you know, you'll all probably be on there with a commission, but you know anybody?
At the March
Just
meeting-
like off duty.
at the
Can't miss
March
it.
meeting, we'll need to start talking about Grand Marshal.
Okay.
So that'll be on the agenda in March. As you know, last year we had Eric Fox. And a gentleman over at the assisted care facility, our veteran. Over 100 years.
Yep, it's Mr. Luther, yeah. Okay, food and drink, that's okay. Food and drink, we haven't opened those up yet. But, we'll get that one going as well. Concert items, the, ASL interpreters, that contract is in progress. And the bands, although booked, those contracts are finishing up now as we speak. We have the famous Paul Finch already contacted and on the schedule, as well as Clance Staging, which are always our go-tos. Kids entertainment, police exhibits. I don't know if we have anything going on with them, but as we know, they take good care of us there. Juggling Jeff, contract in progress, as well as the upper limits. Those are all happening now. Pony rides, not contacted yet, but we can if we are interested in having the pony rides again this year. Dolly jumps. We've got some new things on for this year too, since it's the 30th anniversary. We have a little something extra with them as well. So that one just got talked about tonight as well. So that one will be getting going as well. The clowns, all good to go. And booth items, we're in the process right now of getting that sponsorship letter out to all businesses and city contractors. It's our 30th. We're looking for a little bit more money. This is a big year, so even Mr. Vunich has a nice, good letter ready to go for our contractors. They work with us all year long, so we hope that they want to be part of our 30th anniversary.
Contractors and consultants, many of them makes hundreds of thousands of dollars off of this over the course of any given fiscal year. So I never feel guilty saying, time to pay back.
That's right.
And I think some of them really liked having a section of the event named after their business. So that was exciting, I think, for a lot of people. That'll get some of them in. Sponsors, as we said. Marketing items, we have getting ready. We will be reaching out for social media and West News Magazine. We've already talked to West News and Miss Ward about doing some of that. So event program, not started, but the poster, Miss Chansky had with her draft tonight.
We finalize these, obviously, then we could start doing the promotions, the marketing, and everything. So that's on the March agenda, so we'll be set to go at
Yes.
least 6 months in advance.
Yeah, we feel like we're ahead of the game.
Good.
And light pole banners, we talked about those as well tonight. So we feel like we're in good shape.
I have a question. Is our parade, are we just using the 30th birthday celebration as our theme for the parade?
That was the decision last year, is that with the 30th anniversary, the theme should be out of that. Certainly, there's some refinements to that. It would be kind of fun if we could get some of the 30 by 30 participants to be in the parade, like Big Chief Roadhouse, Larry's, those
Yeah.
that are on the list actually be in the parade, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
One update from last night with Administration and Public Works, which is a council board. We received as a city a large settlement from opioid settlement. And is restrictive with how we use those funds. So the purpose is for public health and cessation and stopping opioid addiction. So we can't use it on everything. So as you know, we don't have a public health department here at the city. We don't run those types of programs. But one of the things that was suggested by Councilmember Farmer last night was using those funds to purchase naloxone, also known as Narcan. And we can provide those not only at City Hall for free, but we could also give those out at events. So we would be I would expect the police department to be contacted about that and the fire department as well. We were gonna check and see if how long it would take for those to expire before purchasing a lot. And we would start with a little and see how popular it was in terms of give out. I'm not sure if you guys run a program like that, if you find that as officers, maybe people feel intimidated or maybe they trust you and they're ready to take a free.
Hand it out to the health
Yeah.
department.
Going in the pharmacy, they, anybody who buys any kind of opioid, they have to take the Narcan.
Okay.
At least in Peabody, Missouri, they do.
I think you all have
I think, well, I guess I should say that's
in your card.
Yes.
I should say that.
You're not allowed to hand it out here. You're allowed to use it.
Another thing, those would be a drug, they have we have a little chemical bag that you can hand out and it's where people can
To
put their
dissolve the
drugs in.
tablets.
and it
I'll email
ruins-
them about that.
And it can ruin,
Great
it
idea.
destroys the medicine so that, I mean, we can bring it up here to the police station, but if people have that in their home, they can just, they have a package that you can sell, you can hand out, that we hand out free at the store for people that want to destroy their own drugs at home, so.
I will email that and add that to the purchasing list. So I'm not in charge of that. I don't know where that goes, but somebody will update somebody and yeah. Okay.
If they, I've never heard of that.
I'll bring you some. I'll bring- I
Yeah,
got my-
you
I'll bring
shake
some-
them and they're
yeah,
like
I'll bring
charcoal,
some.
yeah.
Our church gave them out.
How long has that been available?
I don't know, we got a ton of it one time and I have a basket of it at the store.
Interesting.
You can use it for any type of medication. So
Yeah.
a lot of old expired stuff, because I used it for all kinds of old expired things and mixed them together. Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
We also do a Wildwood first aid kit
Yeah, I. Ask about that.
because, I think those in your car, I'm just saying, it'd be kind of a first aid kit and have put Wildwood on it or something, the small ones.
You said first aid or crusade?
First,
Thank you.
As a nurse, I like that idea.
I think that would meet the parameters, but.
Yeah.
Chair Farmer that. Any other questions on item C before we move on to other considerations? Once, twice. All right, anything else? Miscellaneous, other considerations?
Where do we meet on Thursday? Was there a meeting
Or
yesterday?
something, or
court.
Court,
It is
okay.
court. The elephant in the room, so whatever they schedule, we schedule around.
Gotcha.
and next month we're later, March 12th, we're not doing it the first week.
March 12th. It's usually because of court.
Yeah.
So, apologies, but it'll help because we have a lot of things I think we owe you for the March meeting that we've discussed tonight, so give us an extra week or so. Okay?
It's
Yeah.
in there. I know I saw it.
On the bottom of
All right, and with
our agenda.
Yeah.
next meeting Wednesday, March 12th at 6 PM. If there is a motion to close. Made by
Motion to
Commissioner
close.
Silverman, motion to
I will
close,
second.
seconded by Commissioner Lind. It is non-debatable. All those in favor, please say aye, aye. Meeting adjourned.
Usually there's
Joe,
this
we'll get
long
the door here.
officer picture, we're usually quicker.
All right.